Evening, everybody. It's time to create dimension drawings of your cams for your automata project. To do that, I'm just going to show you a quick tutorial using this eccentric cam as my demonstration piece. So in order to create my drawing, I need to go to File, New, Drawing, and it creates a new big piece of paper drawing for us. Now, the first thing we need to do is change it because we don't need to print out a huge piece of paper. This thing is 36 inches by 48 inches if I'm not mistaken. We're going to go ahead and right click up here on Sheet and say Edit the Sheet. And we want to go from size D to size A. That's 8.5 by 11. Click OK. Now, the next thing is this title block is enormous. It's the size A title block it's saying, but it's an ANSI large. So what we want to do is come up here to Resources and click Title Blocks. You see how it says ANSI A there? Well, that means that ANSI A is an option, but it already has information populated in this ANSI large. I'm going to delete that one. Now I'm going to double click this one and it automatically pops up with this new one that is much smaller. Now if we look at it, you'll see that it already says who it's drawn by, the date that this was created, and it has room for a title, drawing number, and other things like that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to automatically fill this in. I'm going to click File and Save As, and I'm going to select that this is going to be my automata cams, or just my cam drawings. A. And boom. That's enough for a title for our purposes at this point in time. Let's go ahead and get cracking on actually placing some cams. So I'm going to click Base and note that this drawing view pops up. This is the file that is selected right now. I can go and I can search for other files in order to actually place other objects, other parts, or even whole assemblies if I felt like it. It by default recognizes if you have a part that's open and you're already messing with. That's why it went immediately to that first file that I already had open here. That's the one I'm going to use as my demonstration. Now, this is a pretty good tool because what you can do is you can hover over it and you can actually select different views to be dropped. Okay, so just by hovering over and clicking, I can put a side view down. I can put a top view. I can put a bottom view, another side view, isometric here, isometric from that angle. Why not? Let's throw one there. Oh, geez, I love isometrics. However, what you'll note is that for this part, we really only need one view. None of the rest of these have any detail that we would not be able to find from our one base drawing. Okay, so do not place more views than you actually need. Now, I would suggest a part that you're dimensioning and that you were showing off, you have an isometric view, but you have your dimensions on an orthographic view. So let's keep that view, let's keep that view. Another thing to note is the scale. Right now we have a 1:1 scale, meaning 1 inch on paper is 1 inch in real life. You can change that by dragging this thing forward or back, okay? Or you can come to the drop-down menu and change it there as well. I want to stick with a 1:1 ratio, okay? I'm going to click OK, and immediately it goes to this outline view. The way you move this thing around is you just click the rectangle when it forms, and you drag it to where you want it, okay? Typically, your isometric view is going to be at the upper right-hand corner. It'll make sense when you look at it. Now, the dimensions that we need to place are the dimensions you would need to manufacture this thing. So just looking at this thing, I would need the radius of this thing, I would need the size of that square, and I would need the offset from the center. So I'm going to come up here to annotate, and I'm going to click dimension. You see how it comes up with that symbol that's a circle with the line across it? That tells me it's going to give me a dimension. That tells me it's giving me the diameter. Or I can go this way and it still gives me the diameter. Click that and it gives us this other window here. We will learn about this at a later date. For now, we're just going to keep it simple and make sure that we've got all of these dimensions that we need, and that our lines to our dimensions are not crossing over one another, and it just looks like something that you can actually read. Okay, so there's our fully dimensioned eccentric cam. It's placed here with its isometric drawing above it. Now, in order to place your next thing, you would just simply go through this base again. You would find your next cam that you would want, and then you would open it, and it would pop it in there. Now, for this cam, I would rather have it be turned like this. You can entirely do that. But I am not going to go through placing that with you guys right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click save again because we had already saved it once. And that is good enough for right now. Make sure you are dimensioning any custom parts that you have drafted for your automata project. If it's a crazy shaped object, give the overall dimensions or see me if you need more help. Other than that, good luck, take care.